Welcome to your new wrestling obsession. This is Off the Mat, a full power, full strength Off the Mat this week. Dom, Sticks, how are you boys doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back. Sucked missing last week's episode, but so good. So
It's all right. I held it down.
I know you held it down, man. And I know
Matt
you
did a good job. Matt did a good job.
I'm just saying that it sucks that when I have to work on certain days, But I'm glad to be back today. Glad to see you guys. My Thursday night is complete now. Get to hang out with Dynamic Duo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good
All
to
right,
see
let's
you
throw
as
our
well.
hats in the ring of all other IWC speculators. What the hell's going on with Naomi?
No, like I thought it was a joke with the whole riding her bag thing and falling. No, everybody's saying that she's going to be out, this and that. All these different news reports saying that she is going to be out for a very long time. This is that. Is she pregnant? Didn't she show up on the Stephanie McMahon show? The show that she has.
That was filmed. That was filmed a week ago, though.
Yeah, like I don't know.
More, I think it's a week ago.
Why is what's
It's
going on? Why do you have Tate's?
Oh, it's from last Saturday.
I'm sorry.
Quantum Kyle. It's Kyle.
Wow.
Does she have a bad concussion, or is she pregnant? Speculation? What do you think?
That's the question, I guess.
Yeah.
Does she have the what's his face? What's his name? AEW. You got the concussion. You got to quit.
Adam
Cole.
Adam Cole. Yeah.
Does she have that type of concussion? That they're speculating that it's worse than. She did fall off that bag hard, but the effect is. But
yeah,
again, sometimes those little things.
Buster knows.
It doesn't look as bad as it does, but then like, oh shit.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing about getting hit to the head in any sport. You just no matter how small or how big, you don't know until you get the after.
Well, and it becomes, is it really an injury? We saw them fake an injury with Seth Rollins, even though everybody was on top of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it even injury? Is it maybe something family related where she needed time off, so they're taking an injury angle with it? Is it that she fell off that suitcase and got a concussion, so they're calling it an injury? Is it, God forbid, pregnancy or complications with that, or who knows? I mean, you would think that if it was something as like simple as pregnancy, there would have been something that came out about it.
Yes.
And the fact that WWE went on Raw, or they went on Monday Night Raw, and Michael Cole was like, "Oh, well, due to a injury that seemingly came out of nowhere, Naomi's not going to be on TV tonight, and stay tuned to WWE socials for further updates." And there have been nothing.
Crickets.
And that was people were looking forward to that at Crash in Paris. They wanted to see that.
Yeah.
Here, but
Now,
you don't want to think of any.
He does make the comment on the Stephanie McMahon interview. Stephanie's talking to her about how WWE is more lenient now towards women performers getting pregnant, to where they weren't like that previously.
Right.
So it leads you to believe that could she have potentially found out after SummerSlam that she was pregnant, and that's why she has only really been in backstage segments, but I don't think she'd be riding around on that suitcase if she was pregnant.
But you know what? Yeah, but you know what? The whole thing is that
because remember, Becky Lynch wrestled a match before she came out and said she was pregnant.
Yeah, because she wrestled a match with Asuka, and she gave Asuka the belt. But that was I don't know. I think maybe she was like just doing that as she was happy, like in the back, and just an accident, freaking catastrophe that happened.
I mean, that was at Money in the Bank too, because Becky said the Money in the Bank contract, or the suitcase didn't contain the contract. It actually had the belt in it, and that's when she said she was leaving because she was pregnant. Now Asuka's the champion. And if it was a pregnancy thing, you think that they would have just taken the belt off of Naomi right then and there. And
could it be? You know what?
Believe the rumors going around in the IWC. She has not been stripped of the belt. Nobody has been. There's been no relinquishment. She hasn't been stripped of it, which makes me think that it might be an angle where something else is going on, and some family related thing. I guess we'll see if her husband shows up on SmackDown tomorrow night.
Well,
if she was on SmackDown tomorrow night, then
maybe this week we'll see something. Maybe they'll talk about something this week, or something will come out.
Because they said she was backstage, so she was definitely at the show.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I thought, well, maybe she couldn't get into Quebec for whatever reason. But if she was there, she could have gone.
Well, there's been talk that it's a disciplinary thing where she said something backstage conflict where she hadn't gotten a verbal or physical altercation with somebody. I've heard that it was creative differences. She wasn't happy with the creative direction of her character right now, which doesn't make sense to me because she's doing some of the best heel work she's ever done.
Oh my God, yes,
she's having the best like the mic work. She's like so much better on the mic. She's doing her work on the mic has been like the best of her career when she's been doing it. The heel persona has brought out a lot in her. You know, you know what? Maybe she's suffering from extreme fatigue. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen. You know, that God forbid, is not cancer related or anything like that. That she has something going on cancer wise. You know,
it could be something as easy as maybe she's got COVID and they're just not talking about COVID anymore. It could be she has the flu. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's a personal thing. Maybe she just needed a couple weeks off. There's been no official word about or update about anything. So all of this speculation is just that. Like all this talk of she's going to be gone for a long time, weeks, is nothing more than just speculation. Nobody knows.
Or a work like Seth Rollins, maybe the work trying to get in the head of Stephanie Fakir. You know, trying to. You know, like Stephanie hasn't wrestled either. That's another thing.
Yeah, and you got to remember these performers are on the road all the time, so they definitely deserve time off, even at a moment's notice. If they say, "Hey, I, stressed or whatever," and they can't go, you give it to them because they're always there. She's been on TV or PLE for the last few months, and without I can remember. So that could just be it too. Just, hey, I need a break. I need the night off.
Yeah, they got the new leniency in wrestling, time off and family. Mm-hmm. Triple H has, and look, say what you want about Triple H. I think Triple H has done a good job with the wrestlers. You can't blame him for the departures of some wrestlers. He's got a boss. He's got to do it. Unfortunately, he's the man that has to do the.
You've got people to answer to.
Exactly. So, but he has done a good job. Taking care of the wrestlers. Doing this, you have the holidays off. You get to hang out with your family, doing all these things, giving time off. But that's another thing too. All right. Like Cody Rhodes wins the belt. He's gonna be leaving to go do a movie for a couple.
Apparently, no. They have said that he is not leaving. They've worked it into his schedule where he'll still be able to appear on Friday Night SmackDown. So he will not be
okay.
He will not miss any time from his recording for his movie schedule. Unlike Roman Reigns, who will.
Yeah. Roman Reigns is always taking time off. It's like I understand Roman Reigns has leukemia and he's taking medicine and that, but it's still to wrestle a few times out of the year, like his wrestling has been diminishing year in and year out. And I understand that he's going through some stuff, but the fact is that he's a money draw. People just showing up on the show itself. Don't have to wrestle. You show up at the show, it's a big draw, a big pop. Yeah. I don't. They're saying that he's going to fight in the Crash of Paris with Bronson Reed. So he's going to fight. He's going to have a fight there.
Got to get his shoes back.
Got to get his shoes back. But like time off for the wrestlers, I'm all for that. But for story purposes, if you're gonna have somebody be the focal point and the main antagonist or the main person in the storyline, you can't go ruin it. You know, you gotta, like The Rock, for instance. You make a story, everybody was propelled, everybody was all happy, and then you freaking goddamn change it, take the rug from under everybody, and it's like, what happened to the storyline that we're doing?
Right.
You know, the angle, this angle, and you change it. It sucks. You know, but back to Naomi. You know, I think women get treated a little different because the sensitivity with the women in wrestling is a little bit more. You know, because think about the women. You know, pregnancy is the number one thing. Because look, come on, you can't tell me that none of these wrestlers are freaking having a good time with each other. You know, you're human beings. Everybody's a human being. Everybody, you're married to your wife. You're not going to do anything with your wife. You know, oh, I can't because you're a professional wrestler. We can't do anything, have kids because we have to keep. No, come on. So if she is pregnant, you know, we'll find out. Possibly,
we'll find out sooner or later.
We'll find out eventually.
Sooner than later.
But it's kind of strange that we get not a peep, not a sound. Nothing, and usually you would. The same thing with Seth Rollins. You know, doing all that stuff like that. You know, it was kind of at work. It did things with Steph, and you kind of like scratched your head. And then the Karrion Kross thing. We don't know what's going on, and now things are happening. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, I think if she is pregnant, Big Jim should have probably proceeded with caution because she's at the height of her career right now, and on the run of her life.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Because remember, the story that she wanted, maybe you were saying that the story she wanted to get pregnant. She wanted that run to have and then get pregnant. She wanted to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Things happen, man. And look, a baby's a miracle from God. So you're going to have, a baby,
great,
you know, playing around as a champion on an entertainment show week in, week out. And you're going to have a lot of fans, but I think pregnancy and baby, a gift from God, overshadows that whole thing. You know, and you know, if she's pregnant, you know, God bless her. You know, she'll be back. Like Becky Lynch came back. You know, so it's going to be a while. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, next week we'll maybe find out something next week.
Naomi,
I just think if it was a pregnancy thing, they would have said something on Raw, or she would have come out on Raw, especially if
maybe
she
don't want anybody to know yet. That's the whole thing. Maybe they try to keep it a secret. I don't know. Hey, look, you know how things are. How people are sometimes. They don't want to say things. You know, and she don't want to disappoint the fans. Maybe she don't want to disappoint the fans because the fans are like backing her. She really has come a long way, like I said, in her career to get to this point. So,
I don't want to speculate on it too because I don't want to add to the rumors and bullshit flying around. Yeah. I'd say it's a hot button topic. So, let's change
37
gears real quick here and talk about Dom got his wish. He put it out in the universe as he laid his little bald head down every night before he went to bed. He kissed his wife and he said, "Dear Lord and the universe, please bring back Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Please bring back the WWE draft. And please give me Ethan Page as the fourth man." Well, he got one of his wishes answered as Brock Lesnar made his less than stellar triumphant return at SummerSlam. You guys weren't here yesterday. Last week I gave my lengthy thoughts on Brock Lesnar's return. How do you feel about Brock Lesnar coming back to WWE?
I'm very surprised. You know, the funny thing is, because we talked about it, and I know I threw it out there a lot. I threw it out there over and over again for freaking months, speculation. And then we went back and forth. He's not coming back. He's on the list. And then they like, oh, Dom, forget about it now. He's on the list. He's suspended. And it's like, all right, you know what? After that, I was like, you know what? Suspended. But, you know, I was very surprised. When I heard the music hit, I was like, what? I'm like, Are you kidding me? I thought it was a joke for a second. I thought that somebody was just doing a joke and The Rock would come out and go, just gotcha. And do some stupid shit, do something. But I was expecting The Rock to come back. That was more, but that changes the landscape with him coming back.
Yeah, it does.
Because, listen, you're under the microscope because of alleged things that happened. And for TKO to come out and clear the way for him to come back, because TKO, if you really think about it, it's Taylor, right? Taylor?
What's that?
What's up? In the chat.
Oh, what's up, Tyler?
Tyler. For him to come back, like for TKO to bring him back, and they would clean the dirty laundry out. They've been clean. If you notice, they clean out the dirty laundry like everybody that Vince McMahon had underneath the wing. Of course, Austin Theory. Apparently he's released. He's done. Gary and Crow. I know they offered him a contract, but he still came up in the Vince McMahon era. Vince McMahon was running things.
Yeah.
Finn Balor. I know he won the tag team champions, but he hasn't been champion. Hasn't had a good storyline. And look, another thing, they tag team champions. How come they're not fighting? They're waiting. But anyway, the Brock Lesnar thing, I'm very surprised with that, with the allegations and all the stuff that they're saying about him, this and that. But he is a money draw. He is a ticket seller. And for him to come back to fight John Cena.
Here's what he is. Here's what he is to the WWE right now. He's a pop. Right? If you didn't think you were going to get a good enough pop with what you had going on, and we got to insert Brock Lesnar for that last second pop to make the night theme worthwhile. Well, you got it. Now what?
Well,
that's going to be the question with him. Now what?
That's the thing is maybe it's just me, but it's weird to me that they brought him back at SummerSlam and automatically everybody took to the internet and started going crazy. Yeah, the crowd there in the moment was like, "Yo, man," lost their minds. Right. But then all of a sudden the IWC started going crazy and like, I can't believe WWE is bringing this back. I even said, this must mean that there's some sort of, he's not a defendant in the Vince McMahon lawsuit, but he is named 47 times. She went back and named him specifically 47 times. And for WWE legal to clear him, to me, that's like, okay, there must be some sort of like plea deal coming, or they're going to go to arbitration and not go to trial, something of that. But at the other hand is saying, oh, well, WWE legal cleared him, just a ploy to get people not to make it a bigger deal than it is, to give people a bullshit reason as to why he's back. And why bring him back to F5 John Cena and then don't have him on SmackDown the next week? And why are we getting... Now, I know we're getting John Cena versus Logan Paul, and they're holding Brock Lesnar to an unnamed September pay-per-view so they can compete with AEW All Out. But he's not even advertised to appear on SmackDown until September 12th.
That's kind of crazy.
Right. So you've got a whole almost a whole month, more than a month.
Before he comes back
from him coming back at SummerSlam before you see him on TV again.
Also there was the speculation that they said that John Cena asked for him to come back and they brought him back, but then John Cena said, "I never said that."
But you've got conflicting reports there because Triple H said he did.
Yeah.
And Cena's saying he didn't.
Yep.
So
I don't know, man. Look, let me tell you, all kidding aside, when you have money like TKO, you can dish out the money, but you can't dish it out to the wrestlers that need the money that people want. But you can dish it out for a short-term purpose of Brock Lesnar. Yeah, look, regardless of the fact of what that whole thing is, yeah, he was named 47 times, but sometimes, when you have strong attorneys and things can happen, you get off a lot of these things. It makes us say the justice system really sucks sometimes because there's loopholes of getting through things. But like, I am very surprised at seeing him on TV because if you're named 47 times and there's a lawsuit going on, Hey, listen, I'd be surprised to see freaking Vince McMahon come back. He comes back.
He wanted to. Did you guys watch the Hulk Hogan thing on TMZ? Yeah. He was legitimately pissed off that WWE did not extend an offer to him to come back and appear on the shows for one of Hogan's 10 bell salutes on SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. He was legitimately mad. He was standing there with all of his melted face glory, legitimately mad that he was not invited back. Are you kidding me? You're in a loss. You're like the reason TKO, WWE are in this lawsuit.
I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying
business, and you think you're going to get invited back to Hogan's? Get out of here, man.
Look, this is the thing now. Is this like a one-time thing after John Cena leaves? But apparently I heard that he signed a multi-deal. They signed Brock Lesnar to a multi-deal after this. So I don't know what the speculation like the multi-deal for what? Like, to go after.
Well, yeah. Is it a multi-year? Or are we talking multi-PLE deal?
I don't know. It says a multi.
That's going to be the question.
A lot of the speculation that's flying around is that WWE announced SummerSlam in Indianapolis next year so early because they're gearing you up for a John Cena-esque retirement run for Brock Lesnar. There's a lot of speculation that Brock Lesnar is going to have his final match at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. Or sorry, no, it was Minneapolis, not Indiana.
In Minneapolis.
In Minneapolis. Oh my God.
Minneapolis.
Yes, thank you.
Minneapolis.
It was Minneapolis, not Indianapolis. So
yeah,
Minneapolis. Oh my God, I keep combining the two words. Minneapolis was named for SummerSlam next year because that's what they're going to do. Is that Brock is going to go on his retirement?
Let's start saying Minnesota.
Yeah, there you go, Minnesota.
Tyler
says because WWE won a Brock versus Cena, maybe Bad Blood, but AEW versus WWE. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to get. They're going to get Brock Lesnar versus Tony Khan on September 12th, or no, September 20th, when WWE Bad Blood goes head-to-head with AEW All Out.
Mm-hmm.
And which one's going to win? I can tell you which one's going to win. It's going to be WWE Bad Blood, not because of better matches, but because you can watch it on Peacock versus having to watch it on whatever pay-per-view app you got to get to watch AEW program. Fight or whatever.
But the whole fact is also they're going to throw out all the championship matches on that card. That's how you get it. All the championship matches, and you have a bunch of championship matches which you should have. You have the freaking U.S. Championship, male and female, the Intercontinental Championship, male and female tag team championships, all those things. You everything, throw everything out there.
If only they had a PLE just for championships. Oh wait, they did. It was called Night of the Champions. And they didn't. They only had a few championships defended on that one. Oh wow.
Sometimes I don't know what they're doing. But but it's a big surprise. Let's see what happens with Brock. Let's see what they do. What they use him for. To show up, the F5 John for John to give him the FU.
I mean, that's some deal to have all these allegations. Yes, you're not named in the suit. Yes, you're not a defendant in the suit, but you're named in the suit. You have all these allegations that we're in a scenario where normally whiskey dick's a bad thing. It sounded like it's a good thing in Brock's case because he couldn't actually perform on what he's being accused of. And then, you come back, make a shocking return to everybody's surprise at SummerSlam, but then you're not seen again or heard again for a month. And you supposedly get a new deal.
Yep.
How much of this $1 billion ESPN deal that we're going to talk about is going in Brock's pocket? I wonder how much of that is to bring Brock back. If you're telling me that they released WWE talent like Dakota Kai and some of these other names to bring back Brock Lesnar, why? Because it, to me, screams the big topic of the show tonight. WWE is creatively bankrupt. They creatively They are as big as they've ever been monetarily.
Yep.
But creatively, this is like 1999, 2000, or well, not 1999. This is like, you know, early 2010s, whatever.
Yeah, early 2000s. Yeah, absolutely. They don't
programming right now. Like they are like 2019, 2020 WWE lull in creativity. I can
tell spots where they're recycling.
And recycling matches. How many times have we seen Lyra? Again, we brought it up. Lyra versus Becky Lynch. Lyra versus Bayley. You know, and how many more times do we have? We literally got Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 2 years in a row, and now they're already talking about doing it a third time. You know, R-Truth, he got shit canned, brought back, and then they're now using him as a joke again. They're using him to try and like wash away John Cena's heel turn like it didn't even happen. Lazy booking. Exactly. Tyler just said it. WWE is lazy booking. But it's just not WWE. NXT was at the height. What the hell happened? It's like someone pulled the emergency brake on NXT and that shit went down.
Yeah, I know.
And then AEW is just an absolute dumpster fire. So it's like professional wrestling in 2025 started hot, but then died. I don't know, went on life support. And it's like WWE is creatively bankrupt. We've got every Raw ever since WrestleMania. If you watch Raw, every Raw has ended the same. Seth Rollins' group's coming out. Seth Rollins' group beating up Roman Reigns or LA Knight or CM Punk or Jey Uso, leaving them all standing tall. Raw has ended the same way since WrestleMania.
Yep.
It's boring. What are we doing here? Triple H was supposed to be the savior.
Yep.
What is going on?
I know.
Is it maybe they need to get some fresh creative writers in here or something, because Triple H just ain't cutting it anymore.
Triple H, you're supposed to be the savior, not join them. No.
Right?
He's essentially starting his. It was like a roller coaster. We got up to the peak, and now he's starting his slow descent into Vince McMahon.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest
2.0.
with you. The bookings are lame. Look, but you know what? Another thing, you got to understand another thing as well. A lot of injuries. A lot of people were out with shoulder injuries, friggin' knee injuries. A lot of people did get hurt. So creative booking on some of the stuff that you want, like the whole look. Thank God they have the friggin' El Grande Americano. They have that, all those different versions. Shit, they're bringing back friggin' Ms. Hayes on SmackDown this week. They're bringing back the Miz with Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The thing about it is, though, I mean, we've been getting the same people week after week. You're driving the nail into a
whole thing is
a board too often.
That's like
that's why you need people in the back. You got to rotate your shit. People aren't getting injured.
It's like toy companies. Think about it.
Yeah.
Transformers. What are the Transformers they put out all the time? Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, Soundwave, the four popular ones. They keep getting it. G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander, Duke.
The
ones that are all the same. Masters Universe, the He-Man, a Skeletor. You know, they throw out a Hordak once in a while here and there. But you want to play it safe when it comes to toys. Like when it comes to you want to have the people that are popular. You're going to put them out in the front. Everybody else is going to get a second thing. See, me personally, that's why the Attitude Era. The one thing about the Attitude Era, I could honestly say, it was freaking crazy. It was the best wrestling because they had to compete with WCW. That's when WWE was at its best when they competed with WCW. And the Attitude Era, they used wrestlers in the back when they made the corporation and the freaking the Ministry of Darkness. They used all the obscure characters and brought them all together, and they made a massive freaking group, to do that. And they don't utilize the people in the back that actually need, TV time. Bring them out. Have them wrestle. Instead of having them wrestle like one time and getting freaking dog faced and freaking becoming a jobber and that's it.
Right.
They lost that edge of what they used to be.
Right. And we don't have those kind of things anymore. We don't have like set up people, jobbers. We don't have those kind of, the most famous jobber, Brooke and Brawler. You know, he went from being a jobber to a main roster. But a lot of these guys, I can think of a lot of jobbers that were nothing, but that's what their job was. They set up the match.
Hey, Matt, did you hear what I was saying?
Mike Thorpe.
They play it safe. They keep the same wrestlers. They don't utilize other people in the back. But the Attitude Era, say what you want about the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era utilized just about everybody in the back. Hardcore.
They rotated. They had a good rotation.
They had more. Now they use the same people. Like Dirty Dom is becoming popular. Now he's going to other wrestling venues. He's doing that.
They drill it right into the ground.
Exactly. Seth Rollins' group. Listen, it's going to be take freaking Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, win the tag team champions. Bring all the gold to freaking to that group and get the fourth member. That's it. You do that.
Why are we going to do that again? That's the same. You're in that same mindset. So you're just
shifting though.
Yeah, you're just you're switching the bloodline with the Judgment Day with now Seth Rollins' group. All you're doing is doing the same story, but just shuffling the pieces.
You can't do that.
Them all is boring. Putting Seth Rollins as the champion right now is boring. That group is boring.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you, like I made the comment to you guys on Monday night during Raw. I said, here's a wild hot take. Karrion Kross is the fourth man. That makes it interesting. Right now, they're boring. Like, in what world is it that Monday before SummerSlam, they leave Bronson Reed in Braun Breaker, leave Jey Uso and Roman Reigns laying to where Bronson Reed steals Roman Reigns' shoes?
I still think
SummerSlam, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns beat them. Then ever since then, they've been left laying again every single week. And then everyone thought it was funny that Bronson Reed stole Roman's shoes. And what does he do on Raw after
he steals the shoes again?
Yeah, another one.
I understand that. The whole fact is that look, you want the fucking Braun Breaker. Say what you want. He's going to be the future. They got to push him. Bronson Reed is just there for the
Braun
ride.
Breaker, not to interrupt you, but he's out here still riding his uncle's coattails doing the Steiner math git.
Oh, I like that. 40 plus 47 equals 100. You're old. Look, but it's funny. And I understand the try, and I understand the recycle. I understand all that stuff. But right now, with the wrestlers that are hurt, there's a lot of wrestlers that are out, injured wise. You don't know when they're coming back. Hey, look. They gotta start figuring AJ Styles is gonna start fighting what's his face? He's coming back. He's been out since with the 20 CL.
Ilya Dragunov?
Yeah, Dragunov. Dragunov's coming back, and apparently he's gonna fight AJ Styles. He's coming back very soon. We don't know. He's clear to fight, so he can come back at any time now. So you bring back that blood in there. You bring
at some point.
Call me crazy, but I think he sits on the sidelines until Gunther's ready to come back, and we're gonna see him and Gunther again.
Yeah.
That's what I think we're going to see.
We're going to see Rollins versus Braun Breaker eventually. It's going to happen. But they're not going to do it now. It's too early to do it now.
But to your point, Dom, you are 100% correct. In the Attitude Era, what made the Attitude Era so good is that all the pieces and all the players were being utilized.
Yep.
From the lowest man on the roster to the Stone Colds and the Rocks.
Yeah.
The Attitude Era, the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental Championship was just as important as the WWE. Exactly. We had our fiercest battle between The Rock and Stone Cold for the Intercontinental Championship, not to mention what was going on in the WWE Championship picture at that time.
Yeah.
We don't have that now. Our mid-card titles are looked down upon, and you're underutilizing, like Natalya, who is a good wrestler and is doing shit for GCW, who wants to bring her Natty Neidhart character to WWE, but she's afraid they're going to ruin it, so she doesn't. She's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like,
she's on the card. She's on the card for AAA this weekend.
What's her name? Friggin' fought what's her name? Fought Becky this week on Monday night. This girl got the chance to fight Becky. Maybe Natalia's next.
Oh, you're talking about Maxine Dupree, who should, by my opinion, never be allowed to wrestle again. I never want to see her wrestle on my TV again.
Yeah, I know. It's just look, the utilization of characters, they're not doing that. And we said this from the beginning with the pay-per-views. How come they're leaving the women's friggin' tag team championship off the friggin' pay-per-view, or the friggin' Intercontinental, or the friggin' US champion? It's ridiculous. It's pay-per-views. They should be fighting. And then Monday night they fight on Monday night. Look, the way things were in the past, you had these super matches at the pay-per-views, and then you might have a championship match one night on a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown. But it used to be just fights and friggin' backstage segments and things that made the show interesting. Like,
the PLEs were spaced out.
Yes.
Here we got 2 to 3 weeks.
In the Attitude Era, if you remember, everything, they had storylines and you had shit happen, yes, but everything culminated at the giant pay-per-view. The pay-per-view was the head of the pimple, the giant culmination of everything of the weeks of TV building up.
And look, you had Sunday Night Heat that actually bridged the gap, where you had the first time you had the Ministry of Darkness and the Corporation combined to become the Ministry of the Corporate Ministry. When you had that on a Sunday Night Raw with Rock and Stone Cold in the middle, made it interesting. Look, at the end of the day, there was more in the 90s, early 2000s. There was a lot of interesting wrestlers. Now they're just trying to put the wrestlers out. The gimmicks aren't there as much. Everybody's doing their thing. Hey, look what they're doing in New Day. Come on. They're making New Day like a bunch of prima donnas.
Oh, my God. I know.
Yo, what the hell?
We're in mourning.
And you have this dude fucking tailgating with them. I don't understand what, the creative thing. And then you let people go like Karrion Kross. You freaking don't sign these guys. You let good people go. You let Austin Theory go. The people that can actually.
But yet you're keeping around people like fucking Tozawa.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing against Tozawa, but man, come on.
Exactly.
You're keeping around Tozawa. You're keeping around Maxine Dupree. You're keeping around like the Alpha Academy. Other than Otis, who cares? Other than who cares?
My thing is,
and without Gable, that's a no. Where the other two go?
American Made too. Like, we're to the point now where WWE thinks, oh well, to fix our creative problems, we're just gonna add a 4th and 5th El Grande Americano.
No, if you do, Chad is hurt. You can't use freaking American Made. You can't use them. You could use American Made. Put them in another storyline. Put them at the go-go. They came out of NXT. They were freaking great in NXT, and you're making them like they're nothing here. The tag team division in Raw freaking sucks. Now it's like you gotta have. If someone gets hurt, you can still have a story with the person getting hurt. I don't understand. They shut them down because Chad ain't there. And that's every time.
That ain't fair to them.
The showmanship isn't there anymore. We don't have tag teams like the Road Warriors, like Hulk and Animal. We don't have like that showmanship anymore. And
like the Christian, the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, the American Made is vanilla white toast, man. Like,
really?
They're nothing. They're good wrestlers, but there's no showmanship there. Like the New Day coming out and throwing the pancakes and with the bootios and all that was showmanship. And now they're walking around. I mean, I guess you had some showmanship last week when, you had Xavier Woods coming out looking like Kung Lao, and Penta like threw his hat at him like he was in Mortal Kombat. But
yeah, I like it. He had the hat on. He was doing with the hat on, and he throws it. He goes
like a hat dance.
Finish him. And he threw the hat. Look, there's some funny things, but like another thing, I think they're booking Penta wrong too.
Tyler says, I'm be honest with you. When WWE Real is dropped, I realized that many lots of things expose their plans and everything. Yeah, I mean, Unreal is with the age of the internet, like Unreal doesn't make that big a difference to me because we all know like what goes on behind the scenes. I think Unreal really gives the person who says wrestling isn't real or things like that a more in-depth look at things and that it is real and that they do this, but there is some storytelling to it. Edge says Cena versus Brock again. Angry face. Yeah, that's
Hey, welcome in, Edge.
I look at it this way, man. The freaking the TV show, the new Unreal, is a glorified version of Total Divas and friggin' all the other stuff.
I'm not watching it.
Hey, look.
Here's the thing I'll say about Unreal. My wife, who is by no means a WWE fan, she laughs at me for watching it. And when I'm watching it, we'll sit there and make fun of like the promos and how dramatic everybody is and all that. She's actually interested in Unreal and says, I want to watch that with you. And we watched the first episode together. So Unreal is getting the interest from that non-WWE fan because she said, I'm not interested in the spectacle of it, but I am interested in the like inner workings of it, of how things go into how the the steak is made or however you want to put it.
The day-by-day process.
Yes. So that interests her. So I'm sure they're getting like non-essential WWE fans interested in the product with Unreal and being on Netflix, but it's still like we were saying, there's just the pageantry of it, the mystique of professional wrestling is gone, and we get there's no creativity anymore. Like I think it's time for old heads like Bruce Pritchard and a lot of these guys to go away, the Michael Hayes and stuff, and bring in some different fresh ideas here. Let's mix it up. Let's utilize some of these superstars, Grayson Waller, that we're just paying to be backstage and
fucking tailgate with fucking the New Day. Look, the Waller effect. What happened to that show? How can they stop doing the Waller effect? How can they stop? You had A-Town Down Under, which could have been a good take. They made him a joke, because they freaking unutilized Austin Theory because he was a protege of Vince McMahon, and it kind of sucks that he was the chosen one for Vince McMahon, and then became the non-chosen with TKO.
Well, everyone started to look down on him because of that thing.
And it's sad because I think Austin Theory has a lot of talent. He does.
He's very talented.
He's very talented. And he's got the look. He's got the physique. He is that dude that can bring, butts to seats and stuff like that. And he could be a main eventer down the road, but they don't utilize him right. Now he's gone. No, you know what? Maybe he'll show up in the indie scene, or he'll show up on TNA, or
he hasn't officially been released, has he? There's no official word that he's been released.
They said he's like he's off the thing. Apparently he's out with injury. That's his thing. But they took him off. He's on the alumni. I think.
Did they move him to the alumni page?
Yeah, when they let people go.
That's usually the first sign of.
Yeah. But they do that, and maybe with the exception of bringing them back down the road. But the whole fact is, we didn't hear like anything like Austin Theory, like a whole Austin Theory. Just heard that he was hurt and he's out. That was it, and nothing else.
Right.
That. But
which could fully be a WWE is just gonna retain him until his contract's up and then let him go. So he's gonna sit at home for the next however long till his contract's up, and then let him go, and they're not going to release him. But
well, me personally, I think that that was a mistake. Let him go. I don't know, man. There's just so many things that they could have done. Here, I'll give you A friend of mine, Hector from work. He a huge wrestling fan. He's the one that went to go see Karrion Kross, the book signing, and he talked to Karrion Kross. He told me an idea. He told me an idea. He goes, "How cool would it be if TNA was to sign Karrion Kross? So TNA, and you have the Righteous come in, and you have them go after all the people that left WWE and go after them on TNA. Once you destroy all the people that were ex-WWE guys on TNA, you go down to NXT, and you start making things in NXT. You start problems in NXT.
Yeah.
And you
like a cleansing.
And he's like, that kind of story could friggin' work. Because Karrion Kross, all kidding aside, I think Karrion Kross is great by himself, but he utilizes better when he has like a team with him. It's the way the team works around them. And I think the Righteous would be perfect.
They want to honor. No, don't have him go to TNA. They want to honor Bray Wyatt so much that they have the Wyatt Six. Honor. If you watched Karrion Kross's documentary he released over the weekend, he talks about Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, wanting to push an idea of Kross being a member of the Wyatt family and having it to where the Wyatt family was separated. So you had some on Raw, some on SmackDown. Do that. Bring him into the Wyatt family. Let them cook on let him be the Fiend, for God's sakes. Bring him in as the Fiend. Karrion Kross can do that. It blows my mind that they're going to let a talent like Karrion Kross and a smoke show like Scarlett walk.
Yep.
But part of me still thinks that there is a lot of unknowns around this Karrion Kross thing, to where the point where indie promotions aren't approaching Kross because they think this is all a work.
AEW, they said, he even said AEW is not coming to it because they think it's a work.
Yeah, they don't want to get hit or get lawsuit for tampering. Yeah. So, with the Seth Rollins thing, I think it has people guessing is this a work or is this a shoot? What are we doing here? And Ariel Helwani asked him straight up, are we being worked? Are you working us? And Kross said, no, I'm coming to you. He used his government name. He's like, I'm not playing a character right now. This is what's going on. But I think there is, I think we're getting worked. And I would not be surprised if we don't see Karrion Kross or hear about Karrion Kross until Survivor Series or right before Survivor Series. What did I say? When did I say we were going to get the fourth man down on Monday night? Something happened. I messaged the group. I was like, well, I know where we're getting the fourth man now.
Oh, Crash in Paris.
Yes. I would not be surprised if we see Karrion Kross back at Clash in Paris and we see him as the fourth man. If he comes out and just absolutely obliterates CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight in that fatal four-way for the WWE Championship.
Well, I'm saying this. How about this? He's probably going to come disguised with a hood, and he's going to come with a hood out of the stands. It's going to be like a fan thing. Why is this fan jumping in the ring? And he's going to take, and then also he's going to pull the thing off, and it's going to be like nobody expected Bronson Reed to be part of Seth group. He came out of nowhere in the Saturday Night Main Event, and it's like, what the hell? So that it could be.
Solo even confronted him.
Look, I still think that Ethan Page is a good part for the thing, but you know what? To give Karrion Kross a story, to put him in a major story, to really let him shine and cook, and he could be that type of guy on the friggin' thing where he can still play his devil and angel role on the friggin' each play goes, yo, Bronson Reed thinks that you're not good enough to do this, and then breakers, and they start like challenging each other. You know what I'm saying? Start second thinking about each other, and he's fucking manipulating the whole group. You know what I'm saying? You could have that in the scenario where everybody starts looking at each other and goes, Seth really thinks Seth doesn't think highly of you. He's like, he just got you here for kind of like that, try to manipulate everybody, and you can have him implode the whole group.
I like it.
Really make a great story.
Mm-hmm. Here's a crazy idea, Triple H, Nick Khan. Maybe instead of going in the media and shitting on people like us in the IWC, maybe listen to what we're saying. Maybe take some of what we're saying into consideration and potentially use some of it to craft some original storylines, not the Bloodline 4.0. And why should we care about the whatever MW or MFWs or whatever they are now? Your third iteration of the Bloodline that nobody cares about, continuing a story that move on.
The vision.
Create something else. Yes, the vision. Create something else. And hot take here. Bronson Reed's finishing move, the tsunami, as devastating as they want it to be, is fucking stupid. The dude gets up on the top rope and looks like he falls off and does like this, like no, and then splashes on somebody.
But look,
He does the doggy pedal.
Like as he's falling.
Give the man a more devastating finisher move than the tsunami.
Well, you could have him spear somebody. You could have him freaking us. You could have him do. He could do some shit. Imagine, well, he used to dive out of the freaking ring. He used to fly. Remember Samoa Joe? Samoa Joe used to be a freaking nut job, freaking hitting the damn thing and flying out of the ring. Yep. You have him do that. But I think Bronson Reed is at that age right now where he broke both feet. He's not fucking so crazy.
Yeah, I jumped out. I tsunami'd off the cage and broke both my ankles. I don't need to be doing that.
But
I'm good.
No, I'm just saying that if you really want to make, the vision a crazy team, you can have them freaking just having like if Karrion Kross becomes part of that team, like I said, you do that scenario, and you can have them freaking starting problems with somebody. Goes, yo, this team just said, they think they're better than us, and have Seth Rollins like, no, we got to fight these other, and go back and forth. Like you can make the vision like DX with more of an edge and make it have some comical parts to it too. Like, look, think about it. Remember when you had Seth Rollins when you had Seth Rollins and he was going after Kane? It wasn't the box. Wasn't the box when Kane was like going when he was the GM and he was coming back at Kane. He goes, "I'm not Kane." He goes, "You're coming out and the birthday cake and the statue. You stole my that type of thing where you made it was funny. You could add some of that stuff into the vision thing, and drive Paul Heyman crazy, and have him like. There's so much you could do. It's so simple to write stories, certain things, scenarios. Every week, yes, you're going to be fighting Roman Reigns, you're going to be fighting CM Punk, Jey Uso. Those are the main guy, LA Knight. Those are the four guys you're going to be fighting. Look, come Survivor Series, the War Games is going to be, Jey, Jimmy, Roman, CM Punk, and LA Knight. I thought Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn is doing his own thing now.
No, I disagree. I think that the War Games is going to be Jey Uso, CM Punk, LA Knight, probably Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is going to be wrapped all by the Bloodline. Just attacked Sami Zayn on Monday night for what? For coming out in his hometown, like
no, because because Sami Zayn beat freaking Solo.
Yeah,
that's where he got his back, and that's why. So,
but again, like it's stupid. It's you're just involving the same players in the same storylines, essentially over and over and over again. Like Sami Zayn had no business being that. It could have been a one-off match between Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa, but now you're going to bring Solo Sikoa in it. Why? Why are we involving all these people again? Move on, freshen up. It's like Triple H creatively blew his load early on after his father-in-law got ousted from the company, and now he's in charge, and he's just creatively blew his load in the first 2 years, and now he's got nothing.
I look at it this way. There's so many things you can do. Look, I understand the draft is, I keep talking about the draft. It happens because I want to separate both shows. I think that there shouldn't be, like, if you're a champion, you should automatically go back and forth on the shows. You're a champion, cause havoc. Like you have like Solo goes to Raw, start something up with. You have things, you can make it more interesting. Yes, you could have the draft and have people individually fight on their show, on their brand, like Sheamus fight on SmackDown or freaking Rusev fight on Raw. This or that. They can't go back. But if you're a champion, you have the golden key to go on both shows into the cause issues. You're tag team champions. Anybody who's a champion. If you're Money in the Bank, you can go back and forth, and you can manipulate both champions.
Here's what I think.
If they're going to do that, they have to streamline the championship. They can't have a Raw championship and a SmackDown championship.
Well, no, I mean you could, but like, what I get what Dom's saying, like, but I kind of agree with him that if you're in a storyline with somebody, so like take Rusev and Sheamus for instance. We've seen Rusev and Sheamus fight each other 3 times now?
Yeah.
Since Rusev has been back.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we seeing that? Why aren't we seeing Rusev kind of like what he did with Otis and Tozawa, where we should be seeing Rusev destroying other people and Sheamus coming out to make the save, to where we don't get that Rusev Sheamus fight until Clash in Paris, or we don't get that Rusev Sheamus fight until the pay-per-view. Like, they need to go back to the old way of like escalating the feud and then have it culminate at the pay-per-view. And if you want to do 2 or 3 matches of it, that's fine. You're not doing it every week on Raw. You're doing it every, at every pay-per-view. So, but then you up the stipulation. So you have a 1v1 match. Okay, that gets interrupted. Well, then you move up to a steel cage match. Okay, and then you work up to Hell in a Cell, or you work up to like a lumberjack match or something like that, instead of just having 3 weeks of this and this and this, and it's getting, it just.
Yeah, their storytelling need to build up to the product, not give you the product and then keep feeding you more and more of the same product.
Yeah, because I remember what WWE used to do was feed you that, give you that little spoonful, and then when the pay-per-view came, boom, you get that big payoff. And look, and like I said, these fights have been closer and closer together. Like they keep like you used to have a fight like up to a pay-per-view, and then you would wait down the road to have another thing escalate. But everything is close. I think there's like 10,000 pay-per-views in the year.
Yeah, the classic one to look back on is like Hogan Andre, right?
Yeah,
Hogan Andre. You never got their fight until WrestleMania, or you got like a mini one somewhere in the middle.
Well, I'm gonna give you another.
He would fight someone else, or he would be around with a $1 Million Man or Virgil with their matches, and Hogan would come out and make a save there. And
now you got to fill up these damn shows. Look at the other thing; they're looking to maybe have 2 WrestleManias per year. Are you kidding me?
Well, because Saudi's gonna help him get out of debt. Saudi's gonna give him big fucking money for that.
Saudi's gonna actually, I got a feeling Saudi's gonna freaking get part ownership to WWE. So you definitely need
the money they're throwing around. They might as well.
Of course, they're the richest people in the world, man. Over there, the Saudis. They can actually buy TKO 25,000 times over.
I'll say this. I think part of WWE's women's roster problem and why our mid-card is so weak in the women's division isn't for lack of talent. It's because of the women's tag team titles. They're throwing random ass people together to try and make tag teams. Like, they need to break up Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez already and let them be solo. Roxanne should be in the mid-card. Roxanne should be fighting Julia for the United States Championship or fighting Becky for the Intercontinental Championship.
And they want to do that, but they wait for the story.
But they don't have tag teams. 4 tag teams, like 4 actual tag teams, I think, in the women's roster.
Yeah, they don't need them. They don't need tag team belts. Like, give them to NXT.
And like you said, move the tag team belt down to NXT.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I don't disagree with that.
You got guys who could be in storylines like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate running around as El Grande Americano. Like, how many El Grande Americanos do we need? They took a good gimmick for Chad Gable, and you gave it to Ludwig Kaiser, who, in his own right could be doing his own thing, but now he's kind of owning it and using it. And why do we need 3 other ones running around?
Yeah, I don't understand.
You have the deal with TNA and NXT. Why aren't we having some of these guys be interjected and cause chaos in the main roster? You should do an invasion angle where TNA invades the main roster and you have some of these TNA guys coming into the main roster. Inject some life there. You have 2 WWE people as TNA champions in Trick Williams and JC Jane. Why? Why don't we have more main roster? Like, there's so much stuff we could play here to make this exciting again. And really, part of me, what I think killed creatively is AEW is not creatively challenging WWE anymore, like they were when they first started. AEW was a bunch of misfit upstarts and independent people that made their that cut their teeth in Japan, like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and it wasn't filled with WWE guys. Where I think AEW went wrong is that they bought up all these WWE guys that were released, and now they've become the WWE graveyard. They're where these old wash-up dudes go to continue their career when WWE doesn't want them anymore. Bobby Lashley, Edge, Christian, who else is over there? FTR. Not that FTR. I mean, FTR is still a good tag team, but they've individually. I was gonna say that
some of them are still viable, but
FTR individually ruined their personas with their arrests and.
Matt, you're right. No, you're absolutely right.
Right. Real world problems. Yeah.
You're absolutely right when it comes to the angle that they could do. Look, just imagine you could have guys from TNA going to the main roster, cause havoc. You got the luchadors in freaking AAA that can come out. Do you know what we can have?
I agree with that too. Tyler. 100%.
Because of corporations. Remember, I always tell you about corporations. Corporations ruin things. Corporations look to make money. They don't care about the limitability, the value of things that is much better when it's limited. Collectors, they want to make money. They'll mass produce things to generate money. They'll freaking goddamn recycle matches over and over again because they think they're going to make money. That's what corporations do.
They have been.
And look, you own AAA. There is so much talent down there in AAA. You're partners with TNA. There's so many angles you could do with TNA. You have NXT. Your developer, which is they take it away. They're probably going to do it to the other thing. What is it? The LF? What's the
LFG?
LFG. You're going to probably bring it to that. But you have all this stuff in your arsenal to utilize to make some crazy storylines. Instead of having Gunther and freaking Jey Uso 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times fighting. Look, it's a simple fix. You're partners with TNA. Because I don't care what anybody says. They're partners with TNA. They got a contract. They're partners with TNA.
They're absolutely.
You don't own TNA. Partners. Why don't you friggin' do a major shuffle? You want to make the draft crazy? Take players from NXT, players from friggin' Raw, SmackDown, TNA, AAA, mix them all up, generate things, have some talent go in different areas, and bring in new blood. And you could do that every year and recycle. And
the only way you're doing that, Dom, is if TNA is part of the WWE fold.
I think they are.
The contracts, if the contract is TNA specific, shuffling it isn't going to work.
Well, the TNA
contract if they're owned by WWE TKO, then that's not a big deal.
It's kind of like the Sony Spider-Man thing with Disney and Marvel. I understand that, but the whole fact is,
right.
But you see the generation that the popping, the crowd, the fucking crowd go crazy when certain individuals show up on TNA. And that's the thing. You utilize what you have. You can make a stronger product. See, TNA right now is looking down at the fact that they're $3 billion in debt. That's what they're freaking looking at, and they don't care about story. They're trying to make all these things that they could possibly do to bring in players.
And I was going to bring that up with Tyler. Tyler says that TKO ruined WWE.
Oh, they did.
Probably when they bought. I'm going to say when they bought them, right? So TKO has taken the WWE and used it as a way to bankroll their money they owe.
And then you're releasing good freaking wrestlers and not utilizing the wrestlers that in the back that you could utilize.
Yes, they have evolved. You're right.
To make these happen. You know, that's the one sad thing. And look, the pay cuts. You're charging all this freaking money for tickets, and you tell me you have pay cuts. Come on, there's no way in hell you're charging all this freaking money for these pay-per-views. And
that
you have no money.
That's corporation for you. That's corporation.
Bring that up. I'm gonna put on my Swami hat. Okay. All right, the Swami's here. Mark it down.
Oh.
August 14th, 2025.
I'm gonna call you Chris Berman. Right.
You can, because I'm gonna make a bold prediction.
There you go.
We're gonna see history repeat itself in a different medium. WWE and TKO are going to be Metallica Napster 2.0, because you know what's going to happen. WWE has made and announced this ESPN deal, right? People like me who pay for YouTube TV already get the ESPN slate of programming. I'm talking ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN News, but we don't get the ESPN DTC app for free, like some of these other like DirecTV customers and things like that. So they're double dipping on me to watch WWE programming. They want me to pay for ESPN twice, essentially. WWE, everyone's going to go to using VPNs to watch everything on Netflix. Well, how long is it before WWE and TKO start losing money for this deal, and then they start trying to go after VPN providers and make it to where we can't use VPN to watch their product?
They're not going to lose money because their money is set in a contract. It's ESPN that's going to lose the money, right? They signed them to the they signed to the contract.
Yeah, but
and
okay,
Disney.
But still, like, how soon until Disney, ESPN, and all them go after VPN providers to stop allowing us to use VPNs to, or make it to where we can't switch we can't switch to different regions where we can only use VPNs to hide our locations in the United States, where we can't make it look like we're out of the United States, to stop us from getting all their programming in a one-stop shop.
Yeah. I don't know how
Metallica tried to do with Napster.
Yeah, Napster. I don't know how all that works and how the switch. All I can tell you is if you're going to use a VPN, you're still paying money to see it.
But you're paying you know.
I don't know how much is a VPN.
It depends on where you go, but anywhere from $5 to $10, if that.
Okay.
Hey Tyler, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. You know, storyline. We were talking about the storyline thing. That there's no story. The writers, it's like the same thing with Hollywood. All these writers wanted to go, they went on strike to fight for better. Give us better stories. Give us better stories, and stop the bullshit, and just do things that people will be engaging in watching some of these shows, some of these things. Right. Give us a good story. Look, regardless of fact, wrestling, give or take, here and there, you watch two grown men fight with each other, women, this and that, doing all these things, throwing each other through tables, something, all that stuff. But the storyline is what freaking got us. You go back when Stone Cold became Stone Cold, when he defeated Jake the Snake Roberts, won the Intercontinental Championship, and he told Jake the Snake, you just lost Stone Cold Steve Austin. He goes, you're 316, and the legend of 316 was born. And then next night on Monday Night Raw, freaking Stone Cold threw the Intercontinental Championship in the water. He goes, I don't want this. I want the championship. And then The Rock went in the water to get it and became the People's Champ. We don't have shit like that anymore. That's storylines that you were watching when DX came. Everybody was watching DX. DX ruled the airwaves of WWE when DX was there. And like I said, that's the type of stuff we need.
It kills me that somebody who was in charge of putting together three of the most prolific groups in WWE history in the Click, DX, and Evolution is having a hard time creatively controlling factions when he's in charge of creative.
Exactly.
It kills me. What were we going to say, Sticks?
I was going to say, if you think back, like Attitude Era, WWF era, people who left watching wrestling and come back, those are the things they're going to think about, the storylines that they had back in the day. I used to watch it and this was so good because I watched it because this was happening. I'll go and start back watching it, and then you don't get that. You're like, I ain't gonna watch this. And then you get people just closing the door on you again. I mean, if you can have that to keep these people who come back, they got a good storyline going on. I'll keep watching.
It does.
They don't have that. They don't have. They're not going to get this comeback viewership, repeat viewership. There's 100,000 marks out there who are going to tune in every week just because it's WWE. I mean, so they don't care. They just want.
I just know that I feel like majority of this year, probably since I'll go since Royal Rumble, creative has been a slog. It's been terrible. And I'll go to Monday night. I'm glad we didn't see Naomi versus Io Sky on Monday night, because if it was going to be anything like that, Naomi and Io, and not Naomi, but the Io Sky and Roxanne Perez match, Roxanne Perez, the prodigy, someone who is praised in NXT, their match was so boring. And I'm sick and tired of like CM Punk, who's a master promo, LA Knight master promo, comes out and they had a lame ass promo on Monday night. I fell asleep during that promo. I woke up and then next thing I know, I'm getting Io Sky versus, Roxanne Perez. And I fell asleep twice during that match. I nodded off. And then they have to rush the Asuka heel turn that Dom called, saying, the rest of Damage Control is going to go after Io. Cool. But now it doesn't make sense. It made sense when she was champion, but it doesn't make sense to do it now. Why? Why are you going to rush? Now you have to rush an Asuka heel turn because more than, 70% of your women's roster is hurt.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Unless she's going to win the championship back. Hopefully not, but
I don't think she is. Her last two.
That would be the only reason to have what I'm saying is that's the only reason to have them turn heel on her.
Mm-hmm.
If she, like you said, has a championship. Why else? I mean, you're just going to do it for shits and giggles? Guess. Why not? I guess, right?
Like, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people don't want to see Nikki Bella, and Nikki Bella doesn't feel like she fits in this era of wrestling. But Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch, a match we've never seen, is more intriguing right now than 90% of what WWE is doing on any of their shows.
Right. True.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Naomi. It's all rumors. WWE hasn't said anything. The Naomi stuff is just all over the map. But we have nothing confirmed. But like, you have people like Natalya sitting back there not doing anything, where you're letting her go do stuff in other promotions because you have no creative plans for her. Yeah, your big stars and Liv Morgan are hurt, but it would just be the same thing over and over again if Liv Morgan was still there. Like Eric and Ivar, where have they been? Why aren't they doing anything?
Yep.
Ivar had a nice little solo run going. Give him more opportunities. Why are JD McDonough and Finn Balor still a tag team? Why haven't they broke it up? Yeah, they can still be in the Judgment Day, but they need to be going after individual gold. Especially Finn Balor. Taking the demon away from him took all that allure and mystique away from Finn Balor. If you're going to try and do the Prince gimmick like you had in New Japan, okay, cool. That's fine. But the demon, people paid to see the demon. And we haven't seen the demon in years.
I don't want to see him like that every week. I like it when it's a build up to the demon.
Exactly. It's a mystique. It's like that next
you keep on him, he's gonna turn on you.
Yeah.
Boom, next week, all of a sudden he's coming out of the demon.
I actually think what they should do is, with his character, eventually, they're gonna lose the championship. He's supposed to turn on Dom Mysterio. I think there should be an instance where he's fighting somebody from that, and he hits his head, and then he just starts having nightmares, like of the demon pulling him back in, and then he'll come out as a demon because he'll have a persona change. But you see that? Look, you got good guys.
Wakes up a face.
Who was I talking to? Matt, was it you about Judgment Day? Should be rotating guys coming in, new people coming in on a regular basis, right? Yeah.
At one point, yeah.
You do something like that. Have a thing. You want to utilize Kurosawa? Have him come. He's a new member of Judgment Day. How do you come in there? Just and have some. Look, they're not, like I said, they're not utilizing the players that they have. The chess pieces.
WWE pretty much spit in our face on SmackDown, if you want to be honest.
Yeah.
Because John Cena does his heel turn, and now they're gonna act like it never happened because it didn't work. They're acknowledging it didn't work, and now they're gonna act like it happened. And they let go of R-Truth, brought him back, and now, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Sticks, I was like, hey, what's happened to R-Truth? Where's R-Truth been? Now they're just gonna be like, have Cena pretend like it's R-Truth's fault, that like it was all in R-Truth's head that he went heel. Where have you, man? You went crazy there for a while. Like, what are we doing? Like, the fans back R-Truth, and now you want to spit in our faces by making that all a joke?
Like, R-Truth was Ron Cummings coming back and all that stuff like that. All that I don't know.
I'm driving now.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? Like, I understand that The Rock and all that screwed up the John Cena heel turn, but they could have done it so much better. And just having Cena come out and complain and bitch and piss and moan at the crowd, he should have went back to the Dr. Thugonomics. He should have come out to Word Life. He should have went back to Rocking the Chain. It should have went back to, like,
They had a lot of time. They had a lot of time to work something new in when Rock didn't show up.
Look, you know what's funny? Travis Scott was part of this whole thing. You got to work with Travis Scott to get some new line. They come back to thugonomic freaking goddamn thing. Travis Scott would have helped him with some lyrics. You had this utilization of something that could have been good. Yes. Travis Scott, that whole situation fell apart, this and that. But The Rock coming out saying, it's work, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm both sides, I'll do this, I do that.
Right.
They, for what could have been a promising heel turn that we were all freaking flabbergasted when freaking he's seen it freaking change. Everybody, non-wrestling fans were talking about it. Everybody talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring it down to that. My thing, like I said, hopefully if you can utilize stuff and make things better after freaking Survivor Series, when everything they start fixing things up.
They need to clean the slate somehow because they got to start something up.
Look,
something has to,
we all know that Roman Reigns
Infinite Earth to happen here somewhere.
Roman Reigns is going to fight like this week in Clash of Champions, Clash of Paris. He's going to be fighting, and then after that, he's supposed to show up one more time, and then he's out.
He's gonna fight Bronson Reed for his sneakers back for the Shula Fallout. Like, dude, like it was funny the first time. Shit, it was even funny the second time he stole his sneakers. But now you got my man coming out here trying to look like he's supposed to be this big badass wearing somebody's sneakers wearing a Foot Locker around his neck. You got Paul Heyman standing ringside with a Foot Locker around his neck. You're smelling homie's nasty ass feet around your neck.
The tribal thief.
Yeah, come on, man.
I think that's a cool thing. The tribal thief. They figured Shula Fallout. Hey, all right, fine, you're doing that. It was also funny when you had freaking CM Punk saying, they said I get my sneakers stolen. Freaking throwing the shade at freaking goddamn Roman Reigns because they were battling each other. But look, you want to make a statement. You want to make it quick. Yeah, like I said, you fucking Karrion Kross, part of freaking goddamn division, manipulates each guy on the team to go after each other, start overthinking like, oh, I'm better than you. Watch what I can do, and everybody's fucking doing it. And it's just about what the hell's going on here. We're a team. We're not supposed to be challenging each other, and then just goes on, and then later on. He starts manipulating like everybody in the group. He fucking whispers something and he does that. And then, like I said, you have all these other scenarios that happen. And you really make a statement at the end of the day, you do have Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker win the damn freaking tag team championship. You bring the belts over because you know they eventually they're going to do that. Have it now. Have everything happen now.
I don't think they should.
And then have the ultimate fall. Let the fall be better than the friggin' actual thing, and just to build up the storyline. Hey, look, how much longer is CM Punk? So Seth Rollins is going to make it his business everywhere CM Punk wins. He's going to try to, even if he shows up at SmackDown and becomes part of SmackDown, he's going to show up at SmackDown and friggin' make him lose every time for championship gold. You know, always have that feud. It's going to be a lifetime feud. No, you got to make the other things happen. You know, there's got to be other scenarios.
Mm-hmm. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't want to see Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker win the tag team championships. I don't even want to see them as a tag team. I want them to hold individual gold. So if they're going to hold gold, I want them to have the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship respectively. I don't want to see them holding tag team gold. They're not a tag team.
Because one is only a.
I understand that, but like, I'm just saying, or have them go to TNA. Wow, what if all of a sudden Braun Breaker becomes the X Division champion? What if all of a sudden, you know, one of them is TNA champion instead of Trick Williams?
How about this?
What if they're going to different programs and destroying different people than the same fucking people every goddamn week?
You have the deal with all these different organizations. You could be doing crazy stuff. Do you know the crossovers that you could damn have? You have Bronson Reed win the fucking TNA championship. You're right. You have freaking goddamn you have freaking Braun Breaker go back down to NXT and just take the freaking world championship there. Come back. Everybody has their belts, and then Seth Rollins. You know, and then like I said, you have Karrion Kross on there manipulating, and then Seth Rollins is like, my championship's better because mine is actually a real championship. And then they all start thinking, well, my championship's better. I got this. You want to try? And you could have all these scenarios. You know, I don't know.
Since you brought up crossovers, you want to take time to get into what's going on this weekend with Triple Mania?
We can. We can talk Triple Mania.
If you're bringing up crossovers and cross ends, you know, Triple Mania. They've inserted a lot of WWE guys into this Triple Mania card. One that you were talking about earlier, and we'll get to that. So Triple Mania here. Triple Mania 33 will be live this weekend on YouTube at 6 p.m. our time Eastern.
No, isn't it 9 p.m. Eastern? Yeah, it's 9 p.m. Eastern.
Is it 9 p.m.? 9 p.m.
My time, yeah.
6 p.m. your time. 6 p.m. your time. Okay. All right. I gotta worry about that, really. So the first match they got coming up is the Copa Bartle match. It's like a Royal Rumble style for the Copa Cup. They haven't released who's going to be in this Royal Rumble yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a mix of the Mexican wrestlers and a few of the WWE. There's speculation that Omos might show up somewhere in this card.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll be here or somewhere else, but this would be an interesting spot for him to kind of show up.
Yep.
In this Royal Rumble match. Now to the first card here. You got El Messias. He's the AAA champion versus the El Hijo Del Wagner Jr. We got a good shot to look at him at the last one we saw, the Wagner for Dr. Wagner here, and I thought he was pretty good. I don't know much about El Messias. I'm still not up on my Lucha Libre.
Trying to learn more and more each time, you know.
Yeah, I gotta start watching it. I gotta find a way to watch older ones so I can catch up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how this will play out. I liked Wagner last time we saw him, so I'll go with Wagner. Though, Messias, I don't know how long he's been champion. He looks like a pretty tough dude, so I would ask him.
That's the thing for me is I don't really know much about. Oh, you just switched the slide on me.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll go back.
I don't really know much about. I mean, I've watched outside of watching Triple Manias in the past.
Mhm.
I don't know much about the AAA product. I have a feeling that Triple Mania used to be over the top, just absolute crazy, an absolute spectacle, right?
Right.
I'm worried that now WWE is involved. Now, let's be honest, WWE, the sale isn't final yet. So WWE has some say in this, but still AAA has their own booking, I believe. So I'm kind of
They
afraid
still have a stake. Yeah.
that Triple Mania is not going to be that wild spectacle we've come to know. It's going to be very, very watered down. I hope that's not the case. I hope it stays as just over the top spectacle. But yeah, in this match, the only real name I know is Dr. Wagner Jr. So I'm gonna just go with Dr. Wagner Jr. I think that they're pushing him. They want to make him a name. WWE wants to get him in front of people. So I think Dr. Wagner Jr. takes the championship here.
Well, I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna go with El Messias. I don't know anything about these guys. Well, I did watch the Dr. Wagner Jr. In the last thing, this and that, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with El Messias because he looks like freaking Alberto Del Rio mixed with freaking Samoa Joe for some reason. I don't know why.
He looks like it. I don't want this to sound horrible, but he does kind of look like the Mexican Rock. He kind of he's got that look to him. He's got like these tribal tattoos.
He also got the vampire eyes. I would say he looks like Del Rio mixed with Samoa Joe type of thing.
Yeah.
Rock type. Yeah. So I'll go with El Messias.
Okay.
I'll take him.
Fair enough. So the AAA Women's title, it's Flammer is champion versus Fabi Apache, and then of course you talked about it earlier, not doing anything. Here they put Natalia into this triple threat match for this AAA championship. I'm surprised because I know like Tyler had said earlier in the chat that Natalia had been doing some stuff down at GCW for a little bit. So I don't know.
Yeah, she has.
So I don't know
in blood
what her. Yeah, I don't know what her contract is. I don't know what the contract with if there's a working relationship with GCW with WWE. I'm not up on that if there is. So for her to come in, and of course we saw her today when Maxine Dupree was gonna fight Becky Lynch. She was there backstage with her, so she's obviously still doing stuff with WWE. I will say I don't see her winning this belt. I'm sure she'll put on a good show. Natalia always does. I'll say that I'll go with Apache taking a win over. I don't know if it's Flammer or Flamer. How they with that?
I'm gonna say champion retains. I'm gonna go with champion retains.
I was gonna say Fabi Apache. I think her. Okay. I think her too. I like her get up.
Yeah. I guess she would be the politically correct Tatanka, right?
Well, listen. All I know is Flammer, the champion. She looks like she's giving Natalia a run for the money with a cleavage. So kind of
Oh, here we go. It's the boobs. Don's predicting off the boobs.
You know what, man?
It's all about that boob window for them.
Nah, I'll still go with Fabi Apache. I'm gonna go with her. I think the breast would be too much to handle, and
I'm sure the breast woman will win, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is a triple 6-person mixed tag. Nino Bargusa, Mr. Iguana, and Lola Vice versus Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Raquel Rodriguez.
Did you just call him Finn Balor?
Who?
Yeah, who's Finn Balor?
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Sorry.
Who's Balor?
Finn Balor. So, Judgment Day, I don't know.
And this is why I say I feel like Triple Mania is going to be watered down.
This is.
Can I give my insight with this real quick?
Go ahead, Dom. Go ahead.
They're pushing Iguana because they want Iguana to come to WWE because they see the opportunity with money-wise. They just signed Lola Vice to a new contract. And Nino Hamburger Garcia, fucking Hamburger, Hamburger, freaking Hamburger.
Hamburger, Hamburger.
I don't see them winning. I see them putting over because you're going to have Roxanne Perez in the corner of them and help them out. I think that we're going to get the Finn Balor and freaking JD McDonough and freaking Raquel win. I think win, but I also see it going bad for them and Lola Vice and freaking Iguana and fucking Hamburger. Freaking goddamn
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Freaking winning because of a mix-up or something. But I'm going to go with the Finn Balor and Jay Madonna and freaking Raquel Rodriguez on this.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go the other way. I'm going to go Mr. Iguana, Lola Vice, and as Dom so elegantly called him, the Hamburglar, because I just feel like Iguana's huge. They're trying to make him a star, and they're going to want him to win as much as possible, especially here. I wouldn't expect in this match the WWE people to win out, so I'm going to take Iguana. And
because they lost at SmackDown. Remember they lost at SmackDown? Yeah.
But now you're in a AAA product, so I would expect him to win on his home turf.
I'm sorry. I'm going to change my my pick. I'm sorry.
Don't ride my coattail, Dom. You stay to your truth, bud.
I know, but you know what? I'm going to stick with what I'm going to say. I'll stick with what I'm going to say. Forget about it. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just stick with what I have to say.
So, I mean, there's no belt on the line. So for me, I think with numbers wise, I think Judgment Day is going to take this one, unless someone shows up to f up their position. There's four of them. The three. Well, I mean, Hamburguesa, probably. I'll stop there. The numbers game. There's the four of them, three of them, and
Hamburguesa.
Nino.
Say that 10 times fast. So I got Judgment Day.
Hamburguesa.
There you go.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Yep. Roll. All right. AAA tag team match. I didn't change it. Angel and Berto are the champions versus Pagano and the Psycho Clown.
It's a street fight too. I think
And it's a street fight.
Pagano and Psycho Clown are taking the belts off Angel and Berto.
Yep.
I agree with that as well.
Yep. So we're all straight through the board.
Yep. I think it was not. I don't want to say it wasn't planned for them to win the belts the last time at the last Triple Mania, but I think Pagano and Psycho Clown will take it back.
I think you're seeing WWE people hold those belts just because it's a good faith thing because they announced the merger. But now I think it's time to take the belts off of them and give them to Pagano and Psycho Clown.
Agreed. All right. Moving right along.
Dirty Dom's winning. I'm going to say it straight out. There you go.
I have this weird feeling that you're probably right, Dom.
Yep.
El Hijo del Vikingo, the champion versus Dragon Lee, Dominic Mysterio, and one of the Grand El Grande Americanos in a fatal 4-way.
That's Luke.
Yeah, you said you think
Kaiser,
Dominic's good to get?
That's Ruthless Kaiser, man. That's Kaiser.
I think I think all of the El Grande
yeah.
Americanos are going to get involved in this match. I think all 5 of them or 10 of them by now are going to get involved in this match. Yeah.
The problem I have with all the Grande Americanos are they all have different masks.
They do.
If they all have the same mask, if they all have the same mask, and they all kind of
one's taller,
I don't really care if they.
WWE is just working up to its Spider-Man meme where they're all going to be in the ring just pointing at each other. Yeah, I mean, listen, my head says Vikingo retains, but my wild like WWE swerve is going to be like Dominic Mysterio wins this belt because look at the pop he's getting every time he shows up at AAA.
I know.
Yes.
And they've been talking about Dominic Mysterio putting a mask on for a long time. What if he starts wearing a mask?
He has that mask that he
wore the mask this week.
He
kept taking it on and off, but the fact is he's wearing a mask now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they're gonna push him.
And Tyler says, "I'm gonna call it meme incoming." Absolutely, man.
Absolutely. I'm gonna agree that Dominic's gonna take this. Dragon Lee, I don't know.
WWE has no interest in Dragon Lee putting anything on Dragon Lee. I don't think so. I just think, I mean,
and Americano's a gimmick. Americano's a gimmick.
The way we're going to end up having a War Games match of all El Grande Americanos. Okay. Just a team of 10 El Grande Americanos going after
an El Grande Americano 4-way.
I mean, to do a 2-night Royal Rumble, we're just gonna have a El Grande Americano Royal Rumble where it's just gonna be nothing but El Grande Americanos.
Like
Chad Gable's gonna end up coming back.
30-man El Grande Americano Battle Royale.
It's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 El Grande Americano.
But I think I think Dom.
Dirty Dom, baby.
Dirty Dom. Yep, absolutely. Agreed. I think that it. Yep, and that's it. So we'll see how it turns out this week. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch this weekend. I don't.
No, you're not. You're gonna be doing SNS.
Well, I'll be watching. I can still watch.
No,
I can be like Dom and watch it on the.
No watching.
Mine's up.
No, I'm probably gonna watch too.
I have a special bond watching Friday Night SmackDown on the Qualified.
A special bond.
A special bond. Yeah, it's called a symbiotic relationship.
So, look at this. Bondis.
But all right, we've talked Brock Lesnar and WWE going against Tony Khan and AEW against All Out on Saturday on September 20th. We talked about Brock Lesnar coming back. We talked about Naomi speculation. We talked about WWE creatively being bankrupt. We went over and reviewed Triple A Mania this weekend. What else? Anything else you guys want to talk about tonight? Any other professional wrestling hot takes that are just searing in your bellies that you want to talk about?
Well, what's the name? Baszler freaking signed with AEW. I think she officially signed with AEW.
I know she had that interview yesterday.
Yeah, so I think she did sign. I think I got a notification. Not a notification, but I saw that one of the things. She's all elite now, so I think. So eventually, the other guys that let go eventually going to get their time to shine. Unless who they're going to get. I can see Braun Strowman going to AEW because they like the big men over there too. You know, Tony Khan wants the big men over there. They want the other guys that can play in his sandbox.
Like that big beefy man. Yep.
Big beefy man.
Exactly. Big beefy sweaty man.
JCW versus GCW night 1 on Thursday night tonight, and GCW versus JCW night 2 on Friday. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
But what about you, Sticks? Any professional wrestling?
No, I think there was some speculation about whether or not Vince, if he wins the lawsuit that he's got, whether or not he would be back after that or not. And I guess that's completely up to TKO. I think his age pushes him out more than it pushes him in, no matter what his name is. So I don't know. What do you think? If he were to be exonerated and cleared, would you want him back?
Who, Vince?
Time is Vince, or is this time passed?
Dude, his time's passed. I mean, you can have him come back for Cena's last hurrah, whatever, but you could have him come back and play the Mr. McMahon character on TV if you want. But I think his time's passed. And honestly, with all the shit he's done to drag WWE through the mud over the last couple of years and all of his horrendous behaviors, and who knows, this might just be the first one. We might just be waiting for this Janelle Grant stuff to come through before they start dropping other charges and other people start filing against him, because he's still got the Ring Boy lawsuit going on too. So there's 2 lawsuits on him right now, the Ring Boy stuff and the Janelle Grant stuff. So no, fuck Vince. He needs to stay away. He had his time. I appreciate it for what he did for professional wrestling, but his conduct and all that, no, stay away. We don't need Vince back. Brock's one thing. I'm not going to harp on him too much about Brock because, even though Brock is allegedly named in it and shit, he's not, he's not a defendant, so he's not being really accused of anything other than having some weird sexual fetishes.
He's not the main target of that.
Right.
Yeah, he's not the main target.
He's, he wasn't sex trafficking people and all that. He's got some weird fetishes, and we've all got skeletons in our closet and shit and whatever. But Vince, no, I don't ever want to see Vince in WWE again.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I don't care if he shows up, like you said, for Cena, because I think Cena kind of would want it, but I think that would be it.
And there's a lot of people that came back to WWE because Vince is gone. So you're gonna spit in the face of your talent then too if you bring Vince back. And I think it's just a PR nightmare to bring Vince back. Let him go. He was on the Hulk Hogan thing with his melting face anyways. I don't need to see him on WWE television anymore.
Right. Other than that, the only thing really people have been talking about is the Cross and what's going on with him. And we've already talked about that. So that's been the main focus. And then, of course, Naomi. But
I think that they're going to continue it to be a work till they get a new deal signed. I think they are probably working on a new deal for him. I would not be surprised they're working on a new deal from him, and they're just keeping it hush hush till it's done. Because it is rumored that they gave him a deal. They gave him 24 hours to sign it. He didn't sign it, so they rescinded it. And the whole Scarlet thing, and the fact that WWE is hijacking signs from people that say we want Cross signs, and Triple H, when people were clearly saying we want Cross during the SummerSlam post show, and he was like, "You want Brock? You got him." Nobody was chanting for Brock. Nobody was chanting, "We want Brock."
Nobody. No, yeah. Oh. Do you think that what happened with R-Truth is kind of why they're making it work?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. They are trying to prevent the R-Truth thing, because after the R-Truth thing came out, Nick Khan said, well, we're not going to let WWE audiences hijack our shows all the time. We're not going to let them do this all the time.
But they did that with CM Punk for so damn long.
10 years. We don't forget. That's the problem. We don't forget. So just give it. You're better off just giving us what we want and bringing back Karrion Kross and actually using him. And he got over on his own merit. Like, he got over organically. He did it himself. It wasn't a WWE push. He did it himself, and the fans backed him, just like R-Truth, man. And I think that WWE and Kross are trying to keep it as quiet as possible and keep us guessing to prevent that outcry of "we want Kross." And
Look, and then the whole thing when he was interacting with the fans, they said not to interact with the fans. Which Vince, let me tell you something. Vince always had this thing where you have to interact with the fans. If you have to break character, if somebody wanted to take a picture with you and you walk away, you would get friggin' fined, this and that. He wanted you to break character because everything was interacting with the fans. Because the fans are the ones that bring the money. Mm-hmm. So if you're a favorite character or somebody, right, you had to break. You had to break your friggin' whoever you are. If you're good, if you're bad, you had to take the pictures and get it with the fans.
I'm sure you've seen like MJF when he was around fans. He was the same persona to the fans as he was
to New York Comic Con one time. He's there, and I'm like, I told him, shit, I'm MJF. He's like this, and what? And what? I'm like, Oh, so you're good to show. All right, thank you. Bye. He had that attitude, which he played a character. But the fact is, come on, all kidding aside, he's playing that character. But if you're gonna take a picture, he goes, I see that somebody gonna take a picture. Yeah, if you must. So like type of thing,
Right. Keep in character, but keep your public happy.
Tyler wants our thoughts on the Lights Out Steel Cage match: Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi and Darby Allin versus Will Ospreay versus Team Death Riders. Here's the thing: I could give a shit less about the Death Riders. AEW has absolutely killed that group, and I don't care about anything Death Riders related. Like, okay, we're getting our Lights Out Steel Cage match. You realize that all this is their version of War Games. Lights Out Steel Cage match is their version of War Games. It's a 5-on-5 steel cage match. That's what War Games is. Who cares? Like the Death Riders thing.
Tanahashi against Will Ospreay. I think that's going to be
I love Kota Ibushi too. Anybody who asks me what professional wrestling match they should watch, I always refer them back to Cedric Alexander versus Kota Ibushi in NXT. That's like the one match. If they're like, what's a modern wrestling match I should watch if I'm just getting into professional wrestling? Kota Ibushi versus Cedric Alexander, NXT. That's where I usually go because that match was phenomenal. But AEW, man, I don't know. I don't.
Listen, look, I'm not going to totally bash AEW. There are some good matches. There are some good things. I know the direction is off the wall, but at the end of the day, they do have good matches, and they try to put in the matches before match. There are those matches where you're like, holy shit, like they freaking jumping off the top of a steel cage onto a table. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, it's amazing, but for some reason, I just really wasn't drawn to AEW.
I loved AEW early day stuff.
Yeah, in the beginning. I
was pro AEW. I planted that AEW flag, but when they were individual and independent wrestlers, and they weren't all ex-WWE guys, and now
when they started bringing those guys in, it just
and it's so bad. You've even got WWE gimmicks over there, the Hurt Syndicate. Like, come on, man. It was better when AEW was separate, doing their own thing. And, now the professional wrestling is good. The in-ring wrestling is great. You just don't have the story there. You don't have the homeostasis, the harmony that is professional wrestling with the story and the wrestling.
One good thing about AEW that I liked when I first started watching it was the Elite, when they had the YouTube videos with the Young Bucks, and they used to go around and like have it was like a YouTube series, and they had the YouTube series, and when freaking Cody Rhodes,
the Elite,
being Elite, and freaking Cody Rhodes was possessed, and he was like saying WWE, and he was saying all these things, like he played the possessed character. That was fun back in the day when that was that. But then I just stopped watching it altogether. I just really, because you're right, when they had the newer people in there, it was exciting, and they brought back all these WWE guys, Chris Jericho, friggin', Cody. But when Cody first started, it was pretty good. But I'm just saying, but when you started bringing a lot of other people in there from the WWE, ex-guys from WWE, and it kind of got
And those guys stopped being pushed, and they started pushing more WWE guys. Like, look at you have to credit AEW for a lot of things they've done because they put a lot of guys on the map. That, I mean, Penta's been around. If you were in, Mexico, you knew Penta. If you watched Lucha Underground, you knew Penta. But AEW did a lot for Penta and Red Phoenix and some of these other guys that are come up too. But like, I still like MJF, who's an AEW homegrown person.
Yep.
I love Darby Allin, but to be fair, I found about Darby Allin when I believe he was in GCW, or no, he was in I can't remember what promotion he was in, OVW or something like that. But I fell in love with him on Vice, like the wrestling show on Vice where they would document it and stuff. So that's where I found about Darby Allin. And but I love MJF. I love, Orange Cassidy. There's a lot of like guys over in AEW that I really, really enjoy. But now like they're just pushing like, okay, yeah, you had John Moxley go over there. You had Chris Jericho start there. You had the select WWE guys, and that was fine. But Sammy Guevara, like there are guys over there that are so good. Hangman Adam Page, so good. But they just want to push that ex-WWE talent in to the point where it's just like, I don't care to watch this. And like, I don't care to watch. I like John Moxley when he was John Moxley, but the Death Rider stuff has just been so boring, man. They've just, I don't know. And Forbidden Door, like Forbidden Door, like the whole thing of Forbidden Door was like people from other promotions coming to yours to work. And now there's like really no Forbidden Door because WWE has a partnership with, pretty much everybody other than New Japan. Right. But I don't know. It just, that match doesn't.
They probably have one with them too, but who knows?
Like the best thing in AEW is their women's division, and it's fucking Tony Storm, timeless Tony Storm.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. This is my take on AEW. But anything else you guys want to talk about?
That's it for me.
Dom?
Just for me, just looking forward to seeing what happens on Crash in Paris. Crash in Paris. I think there could be some interesting things that do transpire. I'm intrigued with the whole Naomi things to see if she does have to relinquish the championship, and if they're going to have a battle royal, if they're going to have a gauntlet thing to see who wins the belt. But this could be a good opportunity for Stephanie Vakir, who hasn't wrestled in a couple of weeks. It makes no sense.
Right. Again, she hasn't wrestled since she won the gauntlet match. Since she won that battle royal. Yep. Months ago, back at what pay-per-view was that?
Evolution. No, what's it?
Yeah, Evolution 2.
Evolution.
Yeah. What are we doing? Where's the hottest thing in WWE, and you put her on the shelf? Where the fuck has Julia been?
Well, Julia now has what's the name? That's going to be her advocate. She has I'll forget what's the name. Who some girl that's in a school skirt with glasses. That's her advocate.
Okay.
So I forgot her name.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Something, isn't it something Marie or something?
Yeah, something. Yeah.
And you even had Stephanie Vakir have a new shirt too. Yeah. She's got her first WWE official shirt, and she's been on the.
We said this goes back to sometimes I don't think they know how to utilize people.
No.
You don't have to fight every goddamn week, but at least be more relevant. Like get more in backstage segment, more of a confrontation with somebody. But you need to be proactive when it comes to these newer characters and these newer wrestlers that are coming to the spotlight.
Well,
and I just don't think you're right. You know what? You're right. But freaking goddamn bankrupt in the freaking writing department, bankrupt in the creativity department. You're right.
I go back to why are we getting Naomi versus Io Sky on Raw when we have it's like Stephanie winning that battle royale. She's an afterthought. They pushed her match to Clash in Paris. She didn't get a match with her at SummerSlam. So her match got pushed to Clash in Paris, and she's not even in the conversation, other than some backstage segments.
But you made me laugh. Julia won the U.S. Championship off of Vega, on SmackDown. Not even SummerSlam.
Well, she did it at SmackDown before Night of Champions. She didn't even win it at Night of Champions.
Yeah, Night of Champions. But I mean, Night of Champions, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And this is the problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem you deal with when creativity is no longer part of the thing. It's just like, let's put our matches out there. You know, let's just see, put these two together, let them fight. Type of shit. There's no story.
Right. Well, we said it when the match was booked for Evolution. We said, why is it so? Because it said in the writing, the winner of this match will face at Clash in Paris. That's 2 months away.
So
I mean, it was the booking was so. The one time you wanted the booking to be built up, but now they're not building anything up because she's not doing anything.
Listen, you should have Stephanie Vakir come out and other players coming out and going, "Oh, you think you're big and bad? You come here brand new."
She should have been messing with. She should have been out there messing with Naomi.
I don't think that's fair. And then Stephanie goes, "You know what? You want to see what's fair? I'll show you why I won the Battle Royal because I'm that good." And they fight. Have the other shit, no storyline, right? Tyler, no storyline. Sucks.
But that really, her messing with Naomi would be the only thing she could do in that 2 month period because once she's got the match, what else can she do?
I'm gonna tell you, how about this?
Can't lose
The reason why they did 2 months in freaking Crash in Paris. Naomi probably was hurt already, and she was battling some stuff. They wanted to see how it played out to give it time for it to heal, and then she busted her ass by doing that damn stupid thing on the thing. So she made matters worse. So I think that they already knew that she had some kind of a problem, and they were just waiting to see how it transpired. But still, if you know someone is if on the factor of wrestling because they have an issue going on, I would have Stephanie interact with other things and then take care of that later, bring it back, keep interacting that storyline, but have her face to face with other people who are jealous because she just got here.
I mean, have Naomi have a match, but Stephanie comes down and interferes. You know, hey, that's gonna be my belt. I don't want to face you, so I'm gonna,
Or you have Naomi be the heel and she can face other people for the championship, but then she just starts embarrassing them, and Stephanie makes the save.
Right.
You have it go back and forth until we get the culmination of the match, Clash in Paris. You don't just do it in the backstage segment. Like, there's so many ways.
Put her on a couch.
We haven't even seen Stephanie really in a match. Like, what is Stephanie hurt?
She had one match.
Telling us, like, I know she had that knee thing, but was it a bigger thing than we're being told? And so they're arresting her. Are they just trying not to get her over you? Like, what? I don't know what's going on, man. It doesn't make sense.
I don't think they know what to do. I think it comes back to your starvation of
creativity.
Bankrupt creativity. They don't know what to do. They're at a loss.
But all right, I think that's a great place to stop tonight. We've talked about this stuff ad nauseum. Hope you guys had a great night. If you want more from Sticks and Dom, well, you can catch them here, of course, every week, every Thursday for Off the Mat. But you can see them tomorrow night over on Renovision. You can find the link down below. Pete, who's been on the show quite a few times. You can find him over on his channel tomorrow night for The Qualified. You can check me and Sticks out on Saturday right here, as well as his channel and on Renovision for Saturday Night Special. You can check Dom out Sundays on Renovision for the Star Wars show. You can check out Sticks on his channel every Tuesday night for the We Who crew or Doctor Who Rewind or whatever you're calling that show now. Yeah. Get all your Doctor Who fixings there with Sticks, and you can catch, more great professional wrestling stuff here each and every single weekend is what I'm trying to say. Yep. You can catch me here all week long on Absolute Geek with all my content. There's so much here, so much professional wrestling goodness. I hope you guys enjoyed Triple Mania. If you're going to watch it Saturday, enjoy the weekend's worth of professional wrestling. And Dom, take us out with some words of wisdom.
All right. TKO is taking submissions for storylines. So anybody out there in the chat or beyond, submit your stories to TKO, and hopefully somebody takes one of the stories and makes it work, because right now Creativity.
Tony Khan at TKO.com.
Exactly. TKO. Creativity blows fucking futile chunks. That's it.
Maybe we need to do a segment here one of these weeks where we take a show and we take the roster of that show and we fantasy book a show and we see if we can book it better than what WWE is doing. And we can see,
that idea.
We can take a poll and we can take, listeners and viewers and see if they think we booked the show better than that week, than what WWE did that week. Whether it's going to be Raw, we can do it with Raw, we can do it with SmackDown, we can do it with NXT.
You know what's funny? We actually do that. We actually do that when we do the pay-per-views for the championships, with the picks.
We do.
Comes out, we do that already. But you know what? Let's do we can do a regular show on what we think should happen in the show, and it could be off the wall, it could be whatever this and that. But let's see if it turns out right. Turns out better than what they put out there.
And Don, 1 week you can't just say, this is the week we get the draft.
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
Can fantasy book the show. We can even go for as deep as like what match opens the show, promos, all of that. Who's cutting a promo on who, and who interrupts who, and what happens. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So we'll talk about getting that in the works and decide what show we want to fantasy book, whether it's going to be Raw, SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-view, whatever it is. Work out those fine details and all that. But I think that's a great idea. And we will keep that on the burner. But on that note, have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll see you guys right back here next Thursday with more professional wrestling goodness.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found. Welcome to the